Hey guys, Metal Driver here, bringing you another AEW Unmatched Series 2 review. Today I'll be doing a double review of MJF and Wardlow. Now we know what the boxes look like, so we don't need to spend time staring at them, so let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and open these figures up and take a closer look at both of them. Alright, and here we have both MJF and Wardlow out of the packaging. But before we take a look at both of these figures, let's look at the accessories that they come with. Alright, so looking at MJF's accessories first, he comes with an AEW microphone, which pretty much every single MJF comes with and should come with because this is his weapon of choice. He also comes with two interchangeable right hands, both with the ring on his pinky finger, and it is worth noting that the right hand that comes automatic on the figure does not have that ring, so it is nice to have those options of hand with diamond ring or not, so that is really nice. And then the biggest thing that makes this MJF different than the other MJF figures is this entrance robe that he comes with. It's pretty much mostly black with the scarf design that he has here at the front, which looks really nice. Painted pretty well for the most part. There does seem to be some missing red right here, or at least very thin red, whereas the rest of the red is a little bit thicker. He's got MJF on the sleeve right here, and on the other one as well. Nice wrinkles here. It is plastic, so it is going to hinder the articulation, but it'll look fine as a display piece. And on the back he has that same design on the collar right here, nothing on the bottom, but then it does say better than you in red, which looks pretty nice for the most part except for this spot right here. So that's the only missing paint, but other than that, it's a fine plastic piece. It'd be nice to have a soft goods one. Maybe if there's a customizer out there that can do that, that would be cool. But for a display piece, I think it looks nice. Alright then, taking a look at the head sculpt, this is brand new. And now when I first saw the images of this head sculpt online, I wasn't really that impressed. In fact, my first thoughts were that it kind of reminded me of my cousin Hector. But seeing it in person, I do think it looks better than the online images. In fact, I kind of do like it a little more, but I don't know if I like it better than the other head sculpts. The two other MJF figures that we received are different, so here we have Series 2 and Series 6. So seeing these side by side, I do think that maybe Series 6 would be the worst of the bunch. I'm still a big fan of Series 2, I think that was a great head sculpt, but this brand new one is starting to grow on me. It does look better in person, as I mentioned. The face is sculpted pretty well. He's got this eating grin, and speaking of which, he's got this brown spot on his left cheek, so maybe he was doing some brown nosing. But other than that weird brown spot, lips are painted well, the eyes are painted well, so are the eyebrows. The hair is sculpted really nicely. It's got a little bit of that fade at the bottom. He's got another brown spot on his ear. Jeez, what the hell is MJF doing? The beard looks really good. The other side looks pretty good. So these little spots here, I could fix that myself, so not a big deal. The torso is the same that we've gotten in the other MJF figures. Tattoo on the right bicep looks really good. He's got a tattoo on his left rib cage, which looks really nice. And then it's really cool that his elbow pad has the MJF logo, which the other MJF figures did not have that at all, so that is nice. Then looking at the trunks, they are black. It's got the red lion design that he has on all the other figures. So this one's red and black. Series 6 was red and gold, so I did like this color scheme, but this one's good too. And then on the back, it says MJF. Then he's got standard knee pads and boots. Then taking a look at Wardlow's accessories, he comes with two fisted hands, an alternate head sculpt that looks stoic, and it looks pretty nice. I think it has a decent likeness to Wardlow. It's painted pretty well. The eyes look pretty decent, the eyebrows are good, the beard is really good. I like the sculpting on the hair, so he's got that shaved side, although I think this should have been more of a gray color, not the same color as the hair, to give off that shaved or faded look. He's got the hair sculpted on top. You can see a little bit of the hairline kind of buzzed. That's his hair design that he has. So it's not really pronounced on the figure. Sculpted ponytail on the back or man bun. So overall this head sculpt's pretty good. I think it's pretty decent for a stoic standard default look. Then looking at the head sculpt that comes on the figure, this is a screaming open mouth head sculpt, which I've had my qualms with some of the Jazzwares figures in the past. Some of them have been hits, some of them have been misses. This one, I think it's a hit. I think this looks pretty good. Looks like Wardlow. It doesn't look terrible or bad. Although mine looks like he's looking to the side. I don't know if that was intentional or just my figure. So I don't know if that's how the eyes are supposed to look, so I guess they're painted okay. The mouth looks good, the lips look good, teeth look great. The beard looks excellent. It's got that same hair design like the other one, although it looks a little more faded on the Screaming head sculpt, although I still think this should have been a little bit of a lighter color, possibly a gray. Does seem to be missing some paint on the top, so I don't know what's with these two figures with these paint issues. Other side looks pretty good, so I do really like this head sculpt, so I think Jazzwares did a great job with that. The upper body looks nice and beefy, as it should. Some nice thick arms, really big upper body. It's got this singlet design. It's got these lions with crowns on the singlet, so that is pretty much MJF's logo or lion design, so that's really neat. They are painted in green and with a little bit of silver, painted very well. Then on the back, you've got Wardlow going down the back of the singlet, which is painted very well. I do not see any major mispaint or sloppiness, so that looks really nice. His butt is pretty much plain and black. They cut off at the upper thigh like a singlet should, and then he's got some standard knee pads, standard boots. Overall, really solid looking Wardlow. Alright, going over MJF's articulation is going to be the same as all the other MJFs, so I'm just going to show that off. I'm not going to explain every single point of articulation on this figure. As you can see, the range of motion on the joints are really good. So he crunches that far forward with both the upper diaphragm and the waist here. So excellent range. That's how the legs look. They go that far out, but it is hindered a little bit going that high up. Thigh cut's a bit tight on that, so looks like I'm gonna have to heat that up. Oh, same thing on that one, so that's a bit tight right there. Double jointed knees, and the ankles look pretty good. Great ankle pivot right there. Alright, then looking at Wardlow's articulation, so he's gonna have the same points as MJF, although he doesn't have the best range of motion going up and down, but there is that hinge and ball joint. Shoulder goes that high up, rotates all the way around. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, swivel and hinge at the wrist, ball joint at the top, which allows him to go that far forward, that far back. He can swivel a bit, slightly pivot. Then he has another ball joint down here, so he can crunch a little bit further forward, further back, and a little bit of twisting. Legs go that far out, they go that high up, so not the best range there. And I'm noticing that's an issue with a lot of these AEW figures, that the legs don't go as high up, so that's kind of annoying. Thigh cut, double jointed, knees hindered a bit by this knee pad. Cut at the top of the boot, ankle goes that high up, that far down. And he does have, actually, does he have an ankle pivot? It is, but it is very, very slight. So that's kind of disappointing. Yep. Barely an ankle pivot. Alright, so if you've seen my other MJF reviews, you should know how MJF looks with a lot of the other AEW figures, but I will compare him with the other MJF figures, so here he is next to Series 2 and Series 6. And I forgot to mention that they have different wristbands, and Series 6 also has the MJF logo on the side of the boots, and the new one and the previous one does not have that. Here is MJF standing next to Wardlow. Then speaking of Wardlow, let's look at him next to a bunch of different AEW figures. So here he is next to Pac, Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega, Adam Page, Miro, Santana, Ortiz, Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and finally, Orange Cassidy. And before I forget, here we have MJF and Wardlow next to FTR. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on Unmatched Series 2 MJF and Wardlow? Well, with MJF, I like him better than I thought I would. However, I don't think it's necessarily a must-have. If you have Series 6 or Series 2, I think those are perfectly fine. I still kind of like the Series 2 head sculpt a little bit better, although this one isn't too bad either. So I don't think MJF is a must-have, especially if you have the other two. So you can pass up on this figure. But if you don't have any other MJFs, then I think this would be a good one to have. And then Wardlow, I think it's really good. I like the head sculpt, I like the body, or I should say I like both head sculpts. So I'd say if you definitely want to add to your pinnacle collection, Wardlow is one to have, and even if you don't, I think Wardlow is still a good figure to pick up and one to add to your collection. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and like this review and subscribe. If you want to have a chance to get a shout out in the next video, then leave a comment down below. And shout out to Aslan Fulgor, who always leaves a comment in all my videos. So thank you to that really helps out the channel. Follow me on social media so you can be up to date with all my wrestling figure photography, and I'll see you next time.